Hey travelers, today we're going to talk about timeshare presentations, how to avoid them, why you should avoid them, and how to get out of them if you've agreed to go to one. So obviously the incentive of $300, $400, $600 cold hard cash just for attending a 2-hour presentation sounds pretty interesting. I mean, why not? You're only going to be gone for 2 hours and then you come back, you can enjoy the rest of the vacation. It's not quite that simple. So here's a couple of things to consider. The reality is it's going to take no less than half a day. Are you really going to actually use this? Now, they'll call it membership, they'll call it vacation ownership. They've learned some really crafty ways of describing what is essentially timeshare. You have a huge upfront cost, then you have annual costs on top of that. You may have extra costs when you use your timeshare. You may not be able to get into the timeshare because it's too popular and there's no availability. And it's all going to be last minute. So you might be able to get the timeshare, but can you get flights that are a decent price? There's a lot of things to consider. Okay, so let's say you're staying at a resort, and there are a few out there that are pretty high pressure in terms of just going to a presentation. Come on, it's free. It's only going to take 90 minutes. We're going to give you free breakfast. We'll give you free upgrade. How can you actually get them to stop and stay away? Well, the easiest way, tell them you're a travel agent. Travel agents aren't eligible for these perks and promotions. So say you're a travel agent and they will literally walk away and ignore you for the rest of the time that you're at the resort. Now, the other thing you can say, you're just in a bad financial situation and you're actually declaring bankruptcy. If you are declaring bankruptcy, obviously the whole financial side of things is not going to work for them. So they are going to leave you alone. So those are two easy ways to avoid getting into the presentation altogether. They're probably going to set you up with a remote property where you're going to do the presentation. So they'll pick you up in a taxi, take you to the resort, you're going to have breakfast, and then have your presentation. As soon as you sit down for breakfast, that is not when the clock starts ticking, folks. If you're hungry, eat, but eat and get it over with. It's not until they start doing the presentation that your time actually starts ticking. So once you finish breakfast, they are going to take you for a tour of the property. Trust me, folks, this will not take less than an hour as they explain to you all the benefits of how wonderful this resort is and why you should absolutely consider this as something to join. Once they finish the presentation, this is when the hard parts start. They're going to sit you down and really try to get you to sign on and fork over some money, a good chunk of money. Now, trust me when I say these people are incredibly well trained at what they do. And they're going to start it off making it really easy, and you're going to think, I got this, no problem. They're going to ask you really easy questions like,
how often do you go on vacation? How much do you typically spend? Do you travel with family? Where do you like to go to? What other places do you want to explore?
All of this is very strategically designed so that they are going to put you into a corner.
You can join this membership, vacation club, whatever you want to call it, for $20,000. Look, you said you spend this much money on average on vacation, and if you join this membership program, well, it's only going to cost this, so by comparison, it's actually way less.
Oh, and they're probably going to throw in some goofy numbers in terms of add-on costs, like flights, transfers, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, a lot of people just aren't aware of what those split out costs are on a regular basis. You know, my friend went to a presentation and the guy was telling him how, oh, if you go to a site blah, blah, blah.com, you can find flights from $150 round trip from Vancouver, Canada to Cancun, Mexico. If the flights were that low, everyone would be on a plane right now and you wouldn't be sitting here watching this video. You would be on a plane. Okay, so like I say, they're going to put this all together and make it look like it's a magical package. If you're like the majority of people and you just think, you know, when I planned this vacation, I didn't plan on an extra $5,000 cost and I've got other stuff that I need to be spending my money on at home. So I'm just going to say no for now. Well, it's not quite that simple. These guys have a vested interest in getting you to sign the papers right then and there. You know, if you've decided that you just aren't interested, you're going to have to get a taxi to get back home. You want to get your money, whatever they promised you. You didn't agree to buy anything. You agreed to attend the presentation, and that's where it ends, really. So the first thing you can do is just get super annoyed with them and just shutting them down every time they start countering your argument. You don't have to be logical. You don't have to agree. Just keep saying no. Just be firm, be confident, and be prepared to walk away. Okay, the second tactic is just cry. It sounds silly, but it actually works. I was at a timeshare presentation where The pressure was really, really high. And stupidly, I'd agreed to do this for a bottle of rum and a t-shirt. What was I thinking? So beside us happened to be this young couple, and they were there with their young child. The husband kept saying no, he wasn't interested, and she was just sitting there and not interested at all. And she just started crying and basically turned to her husband and said, I can't deal with this anymore, we have to go. I think at that point they realized that the couple was completely shut down and there was no way that they were going to walk away with a win. So at that point, the other thing that a good salesperson will recognize is when it's time to cut their losses and move on to the next person. Okay, the last one that I'm going to tell you, and this is probably the best one. It was actually told to me by one of the timeshare reps in Puerto Vallarta. They were trying to get us to go to a presentation for, I think it was Vedanta, and they were paying big bucks. I think they were at the time going $800. My friend was extraordinarily interested in attending this, but we're like, no, no way. We got to fly home the next day. This isn't going to work. So the timeshare guy says,
I'll tell you how to get out of it. Trust me, it works every time.
okay, we're all ears. He says,
You know you're not going to buy right up front? Go to the washroom. And like every 5 minutes, keep getting up and going to the washroom. Just come back and be like grabbing your stomach going, oh my God, like what did you guys feed me? Oh, this isn't going to work. This is terrible. I need to go. Where's the taxi? Where's the taxi?
he says, they're going to give you your money, put you in a taxi. It's okay to lie, folks. Do not think twice about it. So I hope you found these tips helpful. If you did, please consider liking this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And now let's check this out. Hey, wait, before you go, check out this video here. This is an awesome resort, and it doesn't even have a timeshare program, so you don't even have to worry about it. Highly recommend it. Check it out and enjoy.